Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. As the agenda item says, we're asking you to accept the donation of new backboards at the Cassett Elementary School being donated by the Tiverton Junior Basketball League. I provided you a picture of the new backboard. As you know, the ones there have been there for a while, and this upgrades the facility both for our students and for the youth league that uses the school after school. We are fortunate to have Mr. Turcott here representing Tiverton Youth Basketball. So, Bob, you want to come up to the podium and maybe say a few words, and maybe the committee has a few questions for you?
Thank you for the invitation to tonight. I just want to say on behalf of the Tiverton Junior Basketball Board of Directors, the family, and all the kids that play, we thank the school for giving us a place to play. Thank you.
We thank you.
Just out of curiosity, how much do these things go for?
$87.50, I believe.
And there's one, or
There's two.
there's a
Two
matching
middle
set?
ones.
Okay.
Years ago, when they built the school, they put, the past school had wooden backboards. And for years,
Yeah.
past President Joe Perry wanted to get glass backboards. So we had a fundraiser, and we were able to raise the money.
Nice.
Very nice.
Fantastic, thank you
There's
very
two
much.
rims, and it'll be able to lower, and the gym class will be able to
Oh,
use
that's
them.
good.
So now all the backboards there can be lowered.
Oh, maybe we can
It'll
even
help out the
play.
school, and it'll help out our league.
That's very good.
It's great.
It is great.
It's a good partnership, for sure.
It is.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
I'll
thank
make,
you.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second,
All in favor?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Madam Chair?
Yes, Dr. Sanchioni.
I'd like to ask the committee if they could move up new business item A, band competition Disney trip with Principal Craven and a couple of the teachers are here to speak to you for that.
Could I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Principal Craven?
let's get the fun stuff out of the way.
Hi, thank you. Yes, it is exciting. So I have Mr. Paquette here and Mrs. Cundy who are going to speak about a request they have for the Disney trip. I guess it's a trip that traditionally students in the band have gone on in the past. So we want to bring it back and make sure we give current students the same opportunity. So I'll let them speak to it, and then I'm looking for a vote, please.
So I'd like for discussion to make a motion to approve the band competition Disney trip request.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
No,
Well,
discussion.
Oh, yeah, discussion, sorry.
Members of the school committee, we would like to request permission to head the high school music department's annual national competition. This year's competition will be conducted via the Music in the Parks Music Festival in Orlando, Florida. So we have, I'm not sure if you all have the thing we've sent out here, but we have
They do.
a bunch of information on this trip and the different details that go into the planning of it. We started our planning at the beginning of the summer and just kind of waiting for approval so we can get the kids going and get the fundraising going and help to lower this cost a little bit for the students.
It's been a while.
Yeah, this is.
I think mine was a freshman the last time, and he's 27, so that's, it's been a while.
2019 was the last year. they went
Yeah,
to
it's
Disney.
been a while.
Yeah,
Nice.
my 2018 grad missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're a little overdue for the traditional 4-year
Nice.
trip.
Nice,
Very good.
very good.
Still only $20 for dinner, huh? These kids have big appetites. 20's not going to cut it in the Magic Kingdom.
No, not quite.
In all seriousness, have you done do you have any fundraising carryovers from previous years? Have you been building up to this, or are you expecting to raise a ton this year?
So a lot of the students have been doing fundraising through the years. It's kind of on them on how much they've been doing those years, with the idea that I believe the seniors last year let me know that they were expecting last year to be a Disney trip. So there was a lot of fundraising going on, and a lot of the students who have older siblings that have since graduated, a lot of that fundraising carries down to the younger siblings. And we're still, every year we have a few fundraisers that have been continual, and this year we're looking at adding a bunch more to help bring those costs down, as well as I'm in the process of also communicating with another school to see if we can lower costs by merging for the purposes of transportation, which would allow the overall cost to also come down.
I have to think Bennett Travel would have some ideas on who you could collaborate with.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. There's been at least a couple schools mentioned that we can reach out to.
Oh, good, good. I wish you well.
Thank you.
And I'm happy for the kids.
Yeah, us too.
Do the vote? Unless somebody else.
You don't have anything? Just came up. So may I have a motion to approve?
We already made the motion, we just need to vote.
But that was for discussion.
No, well,
Motion to approve the band trip to Disney World.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Have fun. Wish I could go still.
Maybe chaperones.
Okay. Could we,
Yep.
could we please move to item 5A, reinstate Finance Subcommittee and appoint members, possible vote? Mrs. Farnworth?
Thank you. At our August 29th meeting, we voted unanimously to reinstate the Finance Subcommittee. And because all the members weren't present at that meeting, and of course, we don't have all our members tonight either, but I don't think Dr. Larkin had any particular interest in joining, we held off the appointing of members. For the benefit of Mrs. Polish, Attorney Scungio was with us that evening. And, you know, we asked about how many school committee members can be part of a subcommittee. It was always our practice to limit subcommittees to 2, so that we wouldn't form a school committee quorum. However, in his experience and per his advice, we can have as many as we want, as long as we're holding our meetings open.
Because they're open anyway.
They are.
Right, okay.
So, I don't know how we want to handle that this evening. Elaine, do you want to ask for volunteers, or?
I think that's what we should do. Is anyone interested in volunteering to
Yes.
serve on the policy subcommittee?
No, finance,
Finance, I'm sorry, I've got policy in my mind. Finance subcommittee.
Yes.
yes.
Right.
Are you interested?
No,
Okay. Deb?
Yes.
Yes?
and Farnworth is.
And Diane?
You're welcome to join, Mike.
No, I'm good with that.
Oh, yeah, no, you're welcome to join.
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm running a rat race for a life, so
That's true.
that actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
So thank you for volunteering. So it sounds like we have it.
Okay.
Do we have to make a
I think
vote
we
on
should
that?
make a motion. Mr. Jacobus, would you like to make
Yeah,
a
sure. I'd like to
motion?
make the motion for the Finance Subcommittee to be reinstated, effective immediately for,
We've already had that vote.
we've already had that
It's
vote.
just the appointment of who to serve.
Okay. So I will make the motion to appoint Ms. Farnworth and Ms. Palish to the Finance Subcommittee.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Go ahead. All right.
Vote, all in
Yep.
favor?
All in favor? Can you
Yes.
vote for yourselves? Yeah? Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Congratulations.
Item 5B, discuss MOU SRO, possible vote. Dr. Sanchioni.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And we just passed some documents down the table here regarding this. We just received them today. So for purposes of the meeting tonight, I want to provide this information, explain to you what you have, and then obviously ask you to put this on a future agenda once you've had time to digest it. So as you know, we've been trying to work out an MOU for the SRO, and we have a document provided to us by the attorney for the police, and we have a document that our attorney's gone to and made some revisions to. And then what Ben did for us, and that's what the cover sheet is here, he's taken each topic area and given where we are with the police and what your position is on those things. And that's where we're apart right now. So what I'd like to do is, again, give this information to you, add it to the agenda in 2 weeks so you can discuss it. And then in the interim, I'd like to be able to have an opportunity to sit down with Chief Jones and see what we can settle with the attorneys there and try to maybe take off some of these items if we can come to agreement. Obviously, the final decision is always yours.
Can I ask a question? I know you mentioned that we have 2 versions here. The first version with the blue framing, is that the police department version, or is that the
Let me
schools?
just take a quick look. No, the red is our
The
version.
red should be
Yeah.
ours.
Okay. Thank you. And, so that's the town. And we've had a couple of discussions about this in the past in executive session. Have there been any additional changes to this recently?
Nothing additional. This is probably where we were last spring when we were trying to get this together, and, we just haven't had that opportunity to have some deep conversations about it.
Okay. I do hope we can discuss it in executive session, especially.
Yep.
I'll say that the town council had planned to take this up on their executive session agenda last night, but chose to have the discussion in open session, which was a little bit odd. But all I'll say is, I think the members of the school committee are working with the best of intentions to come to an agreement with the town. What I heard at that meeting last night were accusations of us dragging our feet, of one member telling the newspaper representative to make sure that, it was on our agenda, so we're going to vote on it tonight. There seems to be everlasting confusion between the police chief and the town administrator on where we are with all of this. I don't understand how that can be. And then lastly, again, I think we're all trying to do our best here. And this process indeed has taken a long time. I want to make sure we take the time we need to take to do it right. And we don't, from what I understand, everyone is pleased with the current SRO, with Officer Smaldone, that she's
Extremely.
fantastic. And I've met her a couple of times. She's, by all accounts, everyone's happy with her, but I think that this agreement has to make sense for everyone involved. And I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
So, if I may, Madam Chair, just to reiterate, my intention then is to take this document and share it with the town administrator and the police chief tomorrow, and then to set up a meeting with them to try to discuss as much as this as possible, so that when we meet in 2 weeks, I can bring you back the best information that we have at that time. Okay.
So at a minimum, Peter, you'll try to at least get a firmer understanding of the differences, so if they remain, you can at
Right.
least
Yeah.
talk to them. Okay,
And
thank you.
Ben thinks we're close, having
Okay.
talked to their attorney on several of
Nope,
these.
that's fine.
too.
I just wanted
Yep.
to understand what, okay, thank you.
Okay, so we'll bring this back in 2 weeks, on the agenda in 2 weeks.
Correct.
Okay, item 5C, update on school safety committee. Dr.
So-
Sanchioni.
As you know, you've requested to establish a safety committee for the district. I want to inform you that this time we have five parents who volunteered: Chief Jones, our SRO, Jackie, the fire marshal, Dan Murphy, and I believe, this is where I wanted to check in, I believe Jerry and Mike were the two for the school committee. Okay, so I want to just update you that we're ready to actualize this committee, and, I wanted to check in with Jerry and Mike today to say if it's, what times would work best for you as far as getting an initial meeting.
Doc, I think we need to go back to the notes. And Mike, was it you or was it Deb?
Deb was here.
No? Okay, I may be mistaken.
Well, if you want to it's your committee, so you can choose again, or?
No, I just want to, do you remember?
I don't, but I vaguely recall that I volunteered as well, although I'm happy to unvolunteer, and, because,
I think
but if you talked about it again, I wasn't here, definitely could not have been, was highly possible I wasn't here at that meeting, so I have no problem with it being Jerry and Mike.
Well, I know we did talk about it, and I know that Dr. Larkin wanted to do it. Do you remember that, Ms. Pavo? Right, he did, and I
And I
said,
may have said something really, really early on, Mike, and that conversation may have changed since, and I have absolutely no issue with you and Dr. Larkin.
and I'm fine with
And I-
letting someone else do it
And I
as
thank you
well.
both. No,
I'm totally fine with letting
I
someone
got
else
my
do it.
committee.
Yeah, I figured I should serve on something, so it made sense to.
If I may,
to
maybe
do
the
it.
committee could reaffirm the membership tonight?
Sure.
Well, you have your list. We can approve that whole list, right?
If you'd like, sure.
Can we add
Is
Can we
that,
add our 2 school committee members, although Jerry isn't here right now?
No, but we know he wants to be on it.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
It is for a possible vote, right?
It says possible vote.
Says
Okay.
Right.
update on school safety committee.
Right.
So if we have a list, and then we can add the 2 school committee members, we could just appoint the whole list as you've just read.
Okay.
Do you need to announce to parents or no?
It's school committee pleasure if you'd like to.
Do we need to, should we announce to
Sure,
parents?
I don't think it hurts.
It's a
I don't
public
think it
meeting, right? We
hurts.
probably
Yeah.
should, right?
Absolutely.
And as a reminder, right, this is a subcommittee of the school committee.
Yeah.
So
the
Peter, just for our
expectation-
benefit, can
Sure.
you read off the members, and then
Yeah.
we will vote on all of them?
Yeah, that's-
Thanks,
should
Mike.
do it.
Great. So the people who volunteered this time, parent Lori Reese Brooks, parent Erica Pena Vest, parent Clay Ann Vieira, parent Susan Oliveira, Fire Marshal Danny Murphy, SRO Jackie Smaldone, Chief Jones, parent Jennifer Buchanan, school committee member Jerry Larkin, school committee member Mike Dakotas.
And I will make a motion to appoint with our thanks the school safety committee members.
A second.
all in favor?
Okay. And I'll reach out to you and Jerry tomorrow, trying to figure out a time that works good.
New business. 6A, we took care of. 6B, approve homeschool requests for 2023-2024 school year. Possible vote. Sarah Kraeger.
Thank you. I provided you a list of parents who have provided a letter of intent to homeschool their child or children for the 23-24 school year. I would just ask for your approval for the 44 requests for homeschooling.
I'll make the motion to approve the request for 44 students requesting homeschooling for this school year.
Second.
All those in favor?
May I ask a question first?
Discussion first?
Just real quick one. Do you know how this compares to where we were last year with this population?
At this point, we're about the same. As they come in, it is rolling, so parents can request homeschooling throughout the year. So we're just about where we were last year.
I know right around COVID, there was an increase for a while, but I think it's come back down to.
I have the numbers from last year.
Okay.
So it's just comparing that.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. And as they come in, I'll bring this forward, each month as they come in.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Item 6D, discuss distance learning days for days school cannot be held. Dr. Sanchioni.
Madam Chair, if we can go to 6C just for a moment.
Okay. Oh, yes,
Um,
sorry.
I would like to make a motion to table item 6C and refer this item to the policy subcommittee.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay. And let them know that that item is on the policy subcommittee meeting scheduled for September 20th.
That's correct.
Now we can go to D.
We on 6D, that was 6C. Item 6D, discuss distance learning days.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In your packet, I provided a letter that potentially could be sent to parents informing them about how we would like to use distance learning on days where school is canceled for whatever reason. Usually it's for inclement weather. But the letter does outline how the school district is well prepared to go into distance learning on those days. This is a requirement now through RIDE that I have to submit a school committee vote to go in this direction. As you can see, what we try to articulate here is that a lot of work has gone in to improve our distance learning, and hence every student has a Chromebook. We provide a hotspot to any family who needs the internet. We have trained our teachers extensively in how to deliver both synchronous and asynchronous instruction. We have schedules at all 5 schools to execute a distance learning day as we have in the past. It seems like it has become accepted by both students and parents. It is a way to continue with instruction and not let that instruction become interrupted during the school year. It's a way to have days when they're really meaningful for us during the school year rather than putting them in June. Another compounding factor is, as you know, we now celebrate Juneteenth, and once we start getting close to that, it's just another day off, and then you put days after that, and those days just don't become educationally valuable. So we have everything in place. We have communication, where parents can communicate with Danny and his team during the day if they need help with technology. They have access to communicate with our teachers through Google Classroom. We have a video all prepared to go out for parents to show them how Google Classroom works. I feel like we've crossed every T, dotted every I. We've done this, and we've done it successfully. So we seek your support this evening to continue this practice.
Could I have a motion to approve for discussion?
I'll
Could I
make
have
a motion to approve for discussion.
I'll second.
I have a question, just came to me. What happens in the case that a teacher might fall ill on that particular day? What happens?
The
Do we have
principals-
You know, we usually have a sub in the building,
Yeah.
but we're all home now. What would happen?
So the principal steps in and teaches, so there's synchronous live instruction and asynchronous instruction. So that asynchronous instruction there is provided in Google Classroom. So
Okay.
students have still a chance to log on and participate in their learning.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, we obviously didn't get any negative comments from anyone via email or anything, but is the staff are the unions in support?
Yes, yeah, and not in a parent letter, but thank you for asking that question. Yeah, I certainly have discussed it with both unions, and they both understand and see the value in doing this
Okay.
and having done it successfully.
Perfect.
Another point, just maybe for clarity for everyone listening, that the decision first is to not have school. And then the second thing we do is Danny checks to make sure the town has internet, and we check to make sure the town has electricity. And those two factors have to be in place for us to go to DL. And so just so everyone knows, we don't just jump to DL. We make sure everyone can be part of DL before we go there. We still could have a day off from school if the electricity is out or internet is not being provided.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
Okay, thank you.
Could I ask another question? Well, it's really more of a suggestion. In your paragraph, you mentioned we have, in our efforts to provide seamless educational experience, we've decided to implement distance learning on days when there is no school. That can be interpreted in so many different ways without an explanation to finish that thought.
Okay.
And you did fully explain to us the circumstances, i.e. snow, hurricane next week, you know, any number of odd type things, but this would not apply, let's say, to schools being closed for an election day.
It may. Yeah, I would say anytime school is closed during the school year, and we would consider that. It's not just for inclement weather, it's any day we don't have school.
Okay.
We lost power, we lost water, any myriad of things. It's usually inclement weather, that's typically why we cancel school, but I don't want to shut off any other possibilities.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. And for the younger kids in particular, let's say the reason to cancel school is unexpected. You know, usually snowstorms, you can see it coming. But let's say, I don't know, water main break outside of Pecasset School, right? Clearly, you can't have the buses come in there, you've got to shut the building down, and the kids didn't go home with their Chromebooks, right? Are the young kids going home with Chromebooks every night?
Not every night, no.
No, so in that case.
We would not have a DL day.
You would not?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be prepared to have it.
Okay.
Anyone else? Mr. Dakotas? Mrs. Polish?
Nope, that's that, thank you.
Okay, then I'll ask for a vote. All in favor?
Great, thank you.
Next, item 6E, discuss safety assessment bid, Homeland Security Assessment. Dr. Sanchioni.
Great, thank you, Madam Chair. A lot of information to discuss here with you. You have in your packet, we went out to bid for a security assessment of our 4 remaining schools, and we only had one vendor apply, and that was Synergy Solutions, who did the assessment of the high school. So you have their bid results there. And as you can see, it's a significant amount of money. They do great work. The report they conducted on the high school was extensive and complete. In the interim, Chief Jones has gone out and has contacted Homeland Security, and they're willing to come in and assess our schools for free. and assess a lot of the town buildings and so forth. So Chief Jones would like to pursue that and wants to bring that organization and talk about it here at the school committee meeting. So I guess that's one of your first decisions is, would you like to hold off on awarding the bid to Synergy and maybe bring in Homeland Security to do this first and save that revenue, which would allow us then, which would lead into what I would recommend through what you saw last Tuesday was that the town council voted $124,000 for safety, and that was a little bit unexpected, but much appreciated. And in your packet here, we feel like the most important thing to take care of right now is to fob all our doors, alarm all our doors, have that communication back into the principal's office, fully integrate the video system with all that information. And we have
That'll be a discussion for another night, though, right?
well, let me,
Because all we're doing tonight is the safety assessment bid and the security assessment?
and you, well, I've added on there.
Oh, safety for schools?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't see the capital.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm,
Where's the capital report?
I'm not speaking to I'm speaking to the report that's in there,
This report.
from Sonatrol, the company who would do this work.
oh, okay.
And they're on the MPA list, so we know we can work with them. And the reason I'm bringing this to your attention is, if we were to go with Homeland Security, then we wouldn't pay for the synergy assessment of the 4 other schools. We would get that work basically done for free. If we had that $124,000, this is what I want to show you this evening. If you could look at the new document I provided you, we added something to it. It's in a great benefit to the district. I'd recommend that we use that $124,000 to execute this thing. I've spoken to SBA, I spoke to Mario Carino, and we could submit this still for reimbursement, so it can go in at a minimum 35%. And if you just turn to the last page, and I'll talk you through it, why this is something we'd like to pursue. So we can submit it for reimbursement to RIDE. And if you're looking at that last page, it says security access and install. So that's the fobs and the alarms on all the doors, and you can see the total at the bottom there, $77,000. And then there's a monthly cost. So we have that system in place right now. We have monitoring of our doors as best we can and so forth. That $630, right now, we pay $1,479 a month. So significant savings there. What's new in this document, as we continue to talk to Sonatrol, they're willing to install cameras for us at a monthly cost of cameras. You can see what the cost is there, $51,000, and then the monthly fee. The monthly fee is $650. Our current monthly fee is $3,097. So we dropped that significantly on both things there. So the total install is $129,313. And what I'd ask the school committee for consideration tonight is to use the $124,000 that the town provided us, and we would find the other $5,313 in our budget, in our maintenance budget, knowing that at least 35% of this is coming back on a reimbursement that you may have access to in the future. And then that total monthly cost of $1,280 is, the monthly cost we pay now for both systems is $4,576. So we dropped that exponentially. So not only are we reducing our costs, but we are probably addressing the number one thing in our schools regarding safety and security by putting in the cameras, the fobs, the alarms on all the doors. But it's all predicated on the first part, which is why I started that way, is do you feel like it's worthwhile to go with Homeland Security, put off the synergy bid, and that sort of frees up the revenue that you have at your disposal? So I'll pause and.
This is, if you don't mind,
Make a motion, or do you want to?
I don't know how to make a motion.
I know, because.
On this item, because you've got 3 different things here.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
So, I don't know, maybe we should just take all 3 of them individually, make motions, have the discussions, and then move on. I would appreciate, though, in the future, to have multiple agenda items if we're going to take multiple votes.
Okay.
So I will make a motion, and I think what would make sense is if we start with the Homeland Security assessment. I'll make a motion that we ask Dr. Sanchioni and the administration to coordinate the possible Homeland Security assessment with the police chief and come back. Honestly, I would love to have the police chief here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, and that is his intention.
Okay. So my motion is, and sorry if I'm flubbing it,
Go ahead.
is to ask Dr. Sanchioni to work with Chief Jones to come back to us to speak about the potential for a Homeland Security assessment.
Second.
Okay.
All right, we're in discussion now?
Anyone, yep.
We're in discussion. So, I think it's great. Thanks to the chief for bringing this up. It's a lot of money that it could save us to use some sorely needed monitoring. So, thank you to you and chief for the great idea, and I hope this works out.
Mrs. Polish, anything?
Yeah, how long? So if we do this, the second part is we won't need to accept the bid. How long do we have, did the council, I didn't see the vote, do we have any kind of timeline to spend that 124,000?
I didn't see a timeline either,
Okay.
but that's why we will spend it real fast.
And here's just my thought, is I understand that we're going to have Homeland Security come and do the assessment. I was very pleased with what Synergy did. It was very complete. It was very well done. I guess I would just like to understand what Homeland Security does versus them. Like, what are we going to get? Are we going to get a deliverable? Are we going to get, before I say, let's spend the money that I would spend on Synergy? That's just my thought, because I don't understand, just based upon tonight, what Homeland Security does versus Synergy. And like I said, they did an excellent job. It was very well done, very easy to follow, very, 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 complete. Yep. So I'm assuming the Homeland Security would be as well, but I would like the opportunity to discuss that with Chief. So given the motion, I will support the motion that we have invite Chief to come before us to talk to us about that.
Mrs. Farnworth, anything else?
No.
Okay. Then I'll call for a vote. All in favor of Diane's motion? Okay.
Can I make a motion to table?
Thank you.
The safety assessment bid?
So moved.
Second.
By Diane. Oh, no.
Yes.
You were the second. Okay. Okay.
I want to get rid of it just in
Questions or
case we need
comments?
to come back.
I just think well, I guess my only question would be is there a period that we have as open to accept that bid? Do we have a deadline?
So deadline on the bid, Amy? I don't believe there was.
Not on this bid.
Yeah, so.
So if
you
we
could
deal
award
with it at the next meeting, that's
could-
certainly.
Okay.
Well, and again, that's going to depend on Chief's availability, but,
Right.
but, okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Good question.
I'll call for a vote.
Yes.
And then lastly, I'll make a motion to accept Dr. Sanchioni's proposal to spend $124,000 as allocated by the town council from the casino funds for the purposes of safety improvements at all of our schools.
I'll second for discussion. I have a question.
Okay.
So if we spend that money on that and we decide we do want to go with Synergy, there's no money to do Synergy.
There may, only because you have the reimbursement coming back, and you have access to that account, so, let's see here, I'll give you a number real quick.
I mean, I'm not necessarily anticipating that, but we did table it for that very reason, so I want to make sure
You'd
If we
have
tabled it, to give
$45,000.
ourselves the option?
You'd have $45,000 coming back, which is more
Okay.
than the bid amount.
All right, and it may or may not be an issue. Okay, thank you.
Call for a vote, all in favor?
I have questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your voice. Now I come, go ahead.
2 questions. The town council vote on the evening of the casino meeting. And this is just my notes, I haven't seen minutes. But according to my notes, they granted us 1.3 million for the locker rooms. $194,317 for the town for whatever uses they have. And $124,000 for school safety, and I have in parentheses, THS. Have you, by chance, asked the town about this $124,000, if it can be used to be applied to all of the schools?
Yeah, I don't recall that being
And
regulated to THS, but I certainly will follow
if I
up
wrote
with
it
town
down, I have
administrator.
to wonder why I would have.
Then I think we're going to have to table that approval until we get some clarification on that. I don't think we can spend,
If they indeed said THS, and maybe they didn't, and I could be wrong, and if so, I'll apologize.
Yeah.
But I still had my notes here, and it says THS.
They didn't. Okay. We have, Carolyn's, Ms. Mendes has created the minutes and was just checking with her. He doesn't, we don't think they said THS, but
how
you
about
feel
if-
it's safer to check.
How about
them?
if we amend the motion to say
Contingent?
contingent upon verification that it was not specific to THS? And I'll second that.
Do you need me to make a motion?
Okay, discussion, good?
I
I
only
think
have
Diane's not finished. Are you-
one more question. On the specifics here. Will this be brought to the building committee for monitoring? The reason I ask is there were questions regarding the door locks
Yep.
in particular.
So this item has been brought to the building committee. This is on the approved 5-year capital plan that the building committee vetted, that you voted for, that has been, will be submitted by the 15th to, so we can certainly bring it back to them, let them know what we're pursuing and how it's going to work.
Okay, and you're confident that everything they're proposing here is allowable in Rhode Island?
Oh, absolutely, yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I have.
Mr. Jacotis, you had something? You don't have it anymore.
No, I didn't. I was ready to
Okay.
see we were ready to vote.
So I'm ready for a vote. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to move into a possible executive session under RIGL 42465A1, job performance, character, physical or mental health, superintendent goals. B, RIGL 42465A1, job performance, character, physical or mental health, administrative contracts. C, RIGL 42465A1, job performance, character, physical or mental health, teacher.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote,
Yes?
Yes.
yes.
Yes.